What's up, guys? I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to create a new app in Android Studio. We're going to start with a profile fragment. We're going to implement it. We're going to ask ChatGPT for the code and the step-by-step instructions, and we're not going to have to write any code ourselves. I'm going to show you guys my process in this video of how easy it is to use ChatGPT to create Android apps. So first I'm going to create a brand new empty activity project in Android Studio. And then I'm going to create a profile fragment where the user can enter their name, their bio, and they can select a profile picture from their phone. And this information is going to be saved using shared preferences. And with ChatGPT, we can get this done super quick. We don't have to search the web for Stack Overflow and tutorials. We're just going to ask ChatGPT for the code and the steps needed to implement these features. So let's get started, guys. Here's the prompt I'm going to use for ChatGPT to get this done in no time flat. I cover all of this and more in my book, Android App Development for Pirates. If you pre-order, you get 30% off. Link in the description. All right, so I've got Android Studio opened up here. I'm going to go to New Project. And I'm going to scroll down to the empty activity. Select that and press Next. And I'm just going to name it Profile Fragment Example. And I'll keep all these settings as they are, and I'll press Finish. And then I'll wait for that to set up. All right, so here's the prompt I'm going to use, guys. Please give me the code and step-by-step instructions for creating a new profile fragment in Android Studio in a new empty activity project that uses view binding. I want the fragment to use a CardView and text formatting so that it's sleek and modern looking. I want the user to be able to enter their name, bio, and select a profile picture from their device. Then we display this in the profile fragment's layout. We also need to display the profile fragment in the main activity. We'll save the info in shared preferences and load it on activity created. If your output is cut off, I will prompt with continue. And if you want to copy and paste that prompt, guys, I'll have a blog post at appswithchatgpt.com, link in the description. All right, guys, so we got the complete output from ChatGPT. It gave us the code and the step-by-step instructions for implementing the profile fragment. And we're going to be doing this live, guys. I haven't tested the code at all, so if there's anything goes wrong, I'll show you guys my process for prompting ChatGPT. I've done this a lot, so I know how to prompt the first time to usually get what I want, but sometimes things don't work quite well, so I'll show you my process for debugging and prompting ChatGPT. All right, so first we're going to copy the dependencies, and we'll add those right here. Oops, I don't need that part though, that's already here, so I'll copy this part. I just need the implementations. You gotta go up here and press sync now after you add dependencies to your project. And then we'll wait for that to finish. And everything seemed to go well there, so we'll move on to step 2 to create a new fragment. And it tells us to go in the project window. We're gonna right click on package, on the package where we wanna create the fragment. We're gonna select new fragment, and we're gonna select blank fragment. We're gonna call it the profile fragment. So and then it's going to tell us to update the fragment profile XML layout file, and it gives us the code for that, and it tells us to replace the content of the file with the following code. I'm going to copy that, switch over to Android Studio, double click on fragment profile and res layout. I'm going to tap up here where it says code. I'm gonna just select all of this and press Control V to paste. And that looks good. So now we have the fragment made and the layout XML, which will look like this. And that'll be the profile picture, the name and the bio. It's in a card view, and it looks sleek and modern using material design. That looks really nice, so we're gonna stick with that. And now we go on to step 4, and we're gonna update the profile fragment, it tells us to include the logic for selecting a profile picture, saving and loading data in shared preferences. So we're gonna copy the code that it gave us, switch over to Android Studio, double click on the profile fragment class, and I believe we can just copy over everything. Let's try that, including the imports, but you want to leave the package declaration at the top and press Ctrl V to paste. And after pasting the code provided by ChatGPT, we have the working code for the profile fragment class. And if you guys do experience any errors when copying code, just copy the error, paste it into ChatGPT, and tell it that you're experiencing an error, and then it will tell you step by step how to go about fixing that. And if you guys check out my books, The ChatGPT Advantage or Android App Development for Pirates, you can see an in-depth process of how I go about prompting ChatGPT to create fully functional apps that use material design that look beautiful. And I share with you guys my strategies for monetizing apps so that you can start making money as an Android app developer. All right, so we're gonna go on to step 5 to display the profile fragment that we just created from the main activity. So we're gonna replace the content of the main activity XML with the following code. And ChatGPT's prompt was cut off here, so we're just gonna copy this code here, and we'll go to activity main XML file, and we're just gonna copy that. And then because the output was cut off, we'll go down here. You can see I prompted with continue, and it continued from there. And we'll copy the second half and just paste it there. And that looks good. It looks like we're, oh, okay, the constraint part here too, we need to close. And then it tells us to update our main activity file in the profile fragment. And sometimes when you prompt ChatGPT to continue, it will kind of glitch out and put instructions in the code blocks. So you just got to pay attention for that when you're copy and pasting. So it tells us to update the main activity file to display the profile fragment, and we just want this part here. We're going to be updating the onCreate function. So we can actually just copy the onCreate portion of that and then head over to the main activity class, and we're going to be replacing the onCreate function, which is this block of code. And there we go. We probably need to, so when you have errors like this, it's probably because you need an import. So we'll just take the cursor over the error, press Alt Enter, which it imported the commit. And according to ChatGPT, we should now have a functioning profile fragment that uses a card view with a sleek, modern look, allowing users to enter their name, their bio, and select a profile picture from their device. And then to test and run our app, we'll go ahead and create a new virtual device. So if you go up here to this icon, Device Manager, press Create Device. We want to do a phone. And now that we've got our emulator up and running and the app installed on the emulator, let's test it out. I'm going to put in my name and my bio. And then I'm going to tap on the profile picture, and I'm assuming it's going to open up the photos where I can choose a photo. And that's one great feature about ChatGPT, is that it creates an intuitive UI design. And it follows Spectra. I'm going to go ahead and close the app and reopen it to make sure that everything's saved. And there we go. The app started, it loaded my information, and it's saved using shared prefs. And that's all there is to it, guys, with creating apps with ChatGPT. I got all of that done with one prompt. When I first started coding Android apps, it would have taken me way longer to do something like that. So be sure to check out the link in the description, pre-order Android app development for pirates, and get 30% off. And you're gonna learn how to do expert level coding, implementing features that the pros do. You're gonna make calls to APIs using Retrofit. We're gonna create an organization app with a to-do list. And if you pre-order, you can get it all super cheap. I've been blessed enough to experience financial success on the Google Play Store, and I'm going to be sharing my personal experience with you guys. I want to set you guys on the same path. I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you learned something in the video. I'll see you next time.